Good evening, everyone, and a special hello to all of you listening on Eli's live stream. My name is Brooke GILLIAM, and I've had the pleasure of serving as this year's past Executive Secretary for SGA. I would like to welcome you to this year's hybrid SGA Installation ceremony. Tonight, we will have the opportunity to show our appreciation to those who have served SGA over the past year through their dedication to various programs and initiatives on campus. We will also welcome the newly elected leaders of SGA. We are grateful that you all have chosen to spend tonight with us to celebrate. To any of Auburn's incredible administrators, faculty members, staff members, or community leaders joining us tonight, you've been an integral part of our development and success in organizing this past year, and we thank you for joining us. Without you, none of the achievements we will be celebrating tonight would have been possible. I would now like to introduce the outgoing Miss Auburn, Kat Bryant, to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Kat Bryant, and it has just been my honor to serve Auburn as Miss Auburn this past year. The purpose of Miss Auburn is to serve as the official hostess of Auburn University. She is a female ambassador representing the university internally to the student body and also externally to the outside community, alumni, and prospective students. The object of Miss Auburn is to embody the spirit of Auburn University. She exemplifies the standards an Auburn woman holds herself to in both word and deed. I would now like to invite Caroline Keim up to the podium, your new Miss Auburn. Caroline, I now entrust you with these responsibilities. Will you please raise your right hand? I do solemnly promise.
I do solemnly promise
to serve Auburn University faithfully.
to serve Auburn University faithfully
And to perform the duties of my office.
and to perform the duties of my office
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Put the little pin. Congratulations. I can't wait to watch you this year.
Thank you so much, Kat. I actually want to start off tonight just by talking about one of my favorite books, actually. It's called Don't Waste Your Life by John Piper. And in it, he just talks about how a life wasted is a life that's trying to prove our own significance instead of displaying the love and glory of God. And I'm talking to myself and everyone in this room, everyone online, when I say that our significance does not come from any role or achievement, but just comes from the significance that we have in the Lord, and nothing will ever compare just to knowing and enjoying Him. I think that if I go through this year, if everyone in this room goes through this year without doing that, I think that we've missed it and that it's a year wasted. So in this next year of being Miss Auburn, I want to love and serve the Lord by loving and serving those around me in whatever capacity that is. I also want to honor the influence that I've been given in this role and use it to further my platform and continue to share my story. I think that the destigmatization of mental health and making it a priority on campus for students is one of the most important things right now. So I'm really excited to be able to do that this year. I also just want to take this time to thank Kat Bryant. There she is, Kat. This year has not looked like the typical year of Miss Auburn, and you just did not skip a beat at all. And I've gotten to watch you serve with so much integrity and grace, and just give yourself and pour yourself out to others. And I just wanted to tell you that it does not go unnoticed for a second. So just congratulations, Kat, for an amazing year. You really have made Auburn proud, and just thank you for the influence that you've had in my life, and just your friendship, and not just in my life, but in the life of so many students here at Auburn. I'm gonna miss you a lot this next year, and I know that so many other people will miss you as well. You really are just an Auburn woman, and I hope to bring the same integrity and grace and loyalty that you've brought into this role. But there will never, ever be enough words just to express how humbled I am to even be standing here and to think of the work that was put in by my peers and people that didn't even know me is just more than overwhelming. But I just want to end with saying thank you to the Auburn students just for entrusting me with this position and just for believing in my platform. It just means the entire world to me. And this year I hope to be able to give back to you all and to Auburn just a small part of what it's given to me. So thank you so much. And I'd like to welcome Brooke back to the podium. Thank you.
SGA consists of three main branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. Yet most of us think of SGA as cabinet and senate. SGA cabinet serves as the executive branch of our organization. Within cabinet, there are multiple teams, including initiatives, outreach, communications and marketing, and finance. You'll get to learn more about each of their achievements when their respective officers speak in a little bit. But right now, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the members of SGA Cabinet for the incredible work that they put in this year. Even though you're tuning in from home, let's give each other a round of applause. Each year, one member of Cabinet is selected by their peers to receive the award for Most Outstanding Cabinet Member. This year's recipient has truly gone above and beyond in everything that he's done. Naturally, there are a lot of challenges that our team faced throughout the year, but he tackled every single one of them with confidence and grace. He never failed to serve others and lead humbly. He led a team of 13 directors and worked hard to maintain SGA's programming and freshman advocacy in a year where it was more important than ever before. His peers and directors have described him as someone who can make you feel loved and smile, and also make you feel welcomed and valued, whether you're on person or in Zoom. We would now like to present the award for 2020 to 2021 Most Outstanding Cabinet Member to Sam HARBARGER. I would now like to introduce the outgoing SGA Vice President, Hayes KASSEN, to the podium.
As the SGA Vice President, I have the honor of serving as the President of the Student Senate. Senate serves as the legislative branch of our organization. Within Senate, there are a variety of committees, including the Budget and Finance Committee, the Code of Laws Committee, Academic Affairs, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and Student Affairs. Senators are elected each February to represent their academic or school or college for a one-year term. They spend their year passing bills and resolutions that seek to advocate on behalf of the student body's needs and desires. I'll share some of Senate's achievements in a little bit, but right now I'd like to take a moment to thank all the SGA senators and Senate liaisons. Even though you're all tuning in from home, let's give each other a round of applause. Each year, one senator is selected by their peers to receive the award for Most Outstanding Senator. However, this year we have had a tie, so we will have two senators of the year. We would now like to present the award for 2020-2021 Most Outstanding Senator to both Tyler Ward and Molly Sullivan. Would y'all please come up to the podium? Now I'd like to introduce this year's EVP of Initiatives, Sarah Jane Levine.
Tonight, I have the honor of recognizing the supporters of the year on behalf of SGA. This award is given to a faculty member or administrator who has gone above and beyond to support the student body and the SGA team throughout the year. This year, as you know, we've had a year like no other. COVID-19 has played such a large role during my executive team's term. We decided it was only fitting to recognize 2 supporters of the year. Both of these administrators played a large role in advocating for students and making sure they were safe, informed, and taken care of during remote learning and throughout the transition to reopen of campus. The first supporter of the year led the COVID-19 efforts for Auburn University Medical Clinic. The recipient has overseen COVID-19 testing, sentinel testing, vaccine distribution, assisted in the A Healthier You campaign, along with many additional COVID-19 efforts. The Auburn University Medical Clinic was able to assist with the visitation of the White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator. This recipient continues to oversee the response to the pandemic from the university and continues to give Auburn University weekly reports of COVID-19 status here on campus. At this time, I would like to announce Dr. Fred Cam as our first recipient of the Supporter of the Year Award. Please help me thank Dr. Cam for all he has done to keep campus safe during this past year. The second Supporter of the Year also led many COVID-19 efforts for Auburn University Student Counseling and Psychological Services. This staff was able to quickly adjust its services and delivery methods to meet the needs for virtual and out-of-state support for Auburn students, who, like college students around the nation, reported greater need and desire for support amidst the pandemic. Further, it did so with only a minor decline in utilization to its transitional form of service delivery. Student Counseling and Psychological Service experienced an 18.1% increase of returning students in fall 2020 compared to fall 2019. The staff conducted a 43.5% increase in outreach appointments in fall 2020 compared to fall 2019. All students were given immediate access to a counselor whenever calling, even when making appointments. In addition to COVID-19 efforts, he assisted SGA in one of our 8 executive goals, the Mental Health Task Force. This task force will be sharing a document of recommendations within the next month that were created from Auburn student feedback, research, and assessment of peer and inspiring institutions. His help and insight into Auburn University's current status and potential growth was instrumental in the efficiency of this task force. At this time, we would like to announce Dr. Doug Hankis as our second recipient of the Supporter of the Year Award. Please help me thank Dr. Hankis for all he has done to advocate for students this year. Now we would like to share a video highlighting SGA's achievements over this past year. The full annual report will be available on Instagram at Auburn SGA this week. Thank you.
On behalf of the entire Student Government Association, what an honor it has been to serve the Auburn student body this year. In a year as unique as this past one, facing a global pandemic, a transition to remote instruction, a social justice movement, and a national election, it was more important than ever to respond in a way that was honorable and representative of our entire student body. Throughout this year, we were able to launch new initiatives and websites in order to better connect and serve the current needs of the students. Join us as we recap the work of the 2020-2021 Student Government Association.
This term, the Student Senate approved the creation of the Auburn University polling location, which will allow an easier way for the students and the residents of the Auburn community to vote in local, state, and national elections.
Senate has also passed an alternative to the ticket system for SGA minor candidates. This legislation states that tickets can only be formed with 2/3 of the available spot, allowing for more people to be involved in the campaign process.
We approve the adjustment of SGA Campaign Week that will allow for a greater opportunity to be informed about candidates on an online platform.
An increase in student activity fee funding brought students growth of late-night programming, which allowed the expansion of late-night alternative events. In addition, we saw upgrades in technology for student media organizations and the overall ability to fund programs that promote students' well-being and sense of community.
Our finance team was able to advocate for and assist in the launching of a financial wellness program for the student body. The program, Region's Next Step Reality Check, is an interactive and engaging way for Auburn students to learn about building and balancing a budget.
Despite the pandemic, our Auburn ring sales were on track with previous years.
we were able to host safe and successful ring weeks and ring ceremonies, continuing the Auburn tradition and celebration that comes with a student wearing a ring and carrying its meaning.
This year, Communications and Marketing facilitated the release of a new SGA website, including a magnitude of new subcategories and features that easily allow students to find up-to-date information, ways to get involved, and directories to connect with their college's senators and representatives in one centralized area.
With an even higher need for communication via social media and digital platforms this past year, our branch was able to assist several university offices, departments, and student organizations in getting information to the student body.
SGA, City Relations, and the Auburn Chamber of Commerce have joined together with a new program called AU10. A total of 46 local businesses have joined the program that helps students to save money while encouraging them to shop local and support Auburn businesses.
Lobby Board organized a successful virtual Learning to Lobby Day where they hosted several state legislators and lobbyists who talked about their experience and expertise. Lobby Board helped to advocate for the highest education trust fund budget and the highest appropriation for Auburn since the Great Recession.
Having an updated, more accessible Auburn Answers website allowed us to utilize student feedback in each conversation with regards to student concerns and questions.
The Inclusion and Diversity Initiatives team has successfully researched and advocated for the implementation of cultural competency training programs across campus. Each member of our executive team was able to fully complete Culture Bump training, focused on finding common ground and celebrating differences.
This semester, we embarked on a virtual listening tour campaign where we met with 5 different identity-based organizations around campus and worked with them to create a plan to improve upon inclusivity and communication.
Heyday reached new heights this year, having over 100 campus partnerships and passing out 11,323 name tags, thanks to these new partnerships and creative planning in the age of COVID-19. And through the year-long outreach program Freshman Forum, SGA was able to continue providing programming for freshmen while developing the tenets of leadership and mentorships among its 46 members.
SGA worked with Parking and Transportation Services by continuing the Ride Smart program to continue to provide discounted late-night safe rides home for students.
We incorporated a director of basic needs who oversees advocacy and programming towards current students' basic needs on Auburn's campus. This director within SGA hosted the first ever SGA-led Hunger Awareness Week, where we promoted events, webinars, and service opportunities to educate and fight against food insecurity.
SGA had a crucial role in serving a part of the COVID-19 reopening task force, co-chaired by Dr. Lady Cox and Dr. Bobby Woodard. Through this task force, we were able to share student feedback in order to efficiently and effectively reopen campus for fall 2020.
SGA assisted in promoting Mental Wealth Week hosted by Active Minds. During this week, SGA supplied over 150 t-shirts to promote student awareness of mental health on Auburn University's campus.
SGA's mission is serving and promoting the individual student, unifying all that is Auburn. This year was challenging, yet beyond rewarding to bring that mission statement to life in so many unique and innovative ways. Thank you, Auburn students, for allowing us the privilege of serving you.
Now, we'd like to take some time as the outgoing SGA executive officers share a few reflections and achievements from this past year. I'll first invite Landon McNelledge, Executive President of Communications and Marketing, to the podium.
My name is Landon McNelledge, and I had the privilege of serving as the Executive Vice President of Communications and Marketing this past year. The Communications and Marketing branch chief responsibility is sharing the story of SGA through digital, print, and social media platforms. I'm excited to share some of my team's highlights and achievements with you all tonight. One of the initial tasks Communications and Marketing handles is connecting SGA with incoming freshmen via tabling at Camp War Eagle. With virtual orientation, my team successfully pioneered an AU24 campaign with the purpose of increasing our freshman audience and allowing them to be connected with SGA prior to the beginning of their first semester. My team was able to exceed their goal of a 15% increase in following on Instagram to an 18% increase, allowing us to connect with 1,000 new Auburn family members. With the continuation of a multi-year brand, our team created branding guidelines and logos for AU10, Heyday, and Capitol on the Plains. Perhaps one of the most long-standing goals of the Communications and Marketing branch was officially completed with the launching of the new Auburn SGA website. This ultimately allowing for one centralized and accessible platform for all viewers to stay up to date on events, initiatives, and ways to connect with SGA. When reflecting upon this past year and the countless other achievements of both the media operations and communications and marketing teams, I can't help but resonate with a quote Dr. Lady Cox shared with us at our last cabinet. That quote being, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." This past term serving an organization I love so deeply was beyond challenging, filled with more lessons learned and failures than I'd like to admit. Yet through that, I found it was filled with more success and strength than anything else, from the personal development and refining of resilience, adaptability, pursuit of passion, and humility. This sea certainly had more waves than one could ever predict, but in return, those skills and lessons will forever be a part of the body of sailors that makes up our 2020-2021 Student Government Association. And I'm beyond excited and eager to see these students and friends continue to lead wherever they see themselves in the future. I don't think I could have personally grew a newfound love for communications and marketing or been more thankful to have learned first-handedly about servant leadership and supporting others if it weren't for my advisor, Dana Gramuglia. Thank you, Dana, for being the backbone of the communications and marketing team's success and for having the priority of supporting me, Lana McNelledge, the college student, above all else. I would be remiss if I didn't thank my assistant vice presidents and the executive secretary for being the most supportive, driven, and unified individuals I have ever been able to serve alongside. It's been one of the greatest blessings of my life to watch you lead your teams towards so much growth in their own leadership, skills, and SGA roles. Thank you, Mom, Dad, Justin, and Gavin, for always and forever being my #1 support system. Lastly, I would not have been able to be the executive vice president or leader I was able to be without the outgoing executive team. You 5 truly are the most selfless and exceptional leaders, and I will never be able to thank you enough for the unwavering commitment and love you brought to the table day after day. Your work ethic and leadership has inspired me more than I'm able to put into words. Thank you, Auburn SGA, for allowing me to serve you at this capacity this past year. At this time, I would like to invite Executive Vice President of Outreach, Michael Bennett, to the podium.
Everyone has a different Auburn experience. That experience is shaped by the people they meet, the things they do, and the outside forces that shape their world. A tremendous part of my Auburn experience has been defined by the people I know through SGA, the work of outreach, and the worldwide and national events and experiences of the last 12 months. The 2020-2021 term showed a greater need for the work of the outreach branch than ever before. With the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on every facet of student life, as well as national political and social issues, the outreach branch was able to step up and amplify the student voice. This year, feedback and assessment was able to collect, disseminate, and determine the student voice in innovative ways. The Auburn Answers team saw the highest cumulative total and highest single-day total of Auburn Answers submissions of any term in SGA history. This was all accomplished in the midst of a transition to a new and improved Auburn Answers website that will allow SGA to collect student feedback more efficiently and effectively. The research and assessment team are truly some of the unsung heroes of SGA. They were able to consistently produce high-quality surveys and peer institution research to enhance our advocacy efforts. Furthermore, the establishment of the Inclusion and Diversity Initiatives team allowed SGA to take a new step towards a more equitable campus. This team was able to research and advocate for cultural competency training for student leaders and for the student body as a whole. In a critically important year, the External Affairs branch was able to represent the student voice beyond the confines of campus. The Director of City Relations was able to maintain SGA's connection with the City of Auburn and related groups to provide student perspective as difficult decisions were made. Additionally, SGA was able to forge a partnership with the Auburn Chamber of Commerce called AU10 that encourages students to shop local and save money. The Governmental Relations team selected 23 members of the student body to serve on SGA's lobby board.
Lobby Board was able to maintain virtual relationships with key elected officials across the state and continue the push for higher education funding. The Civic Engagement Team was able to promote voter registration, education, and participation to a wide-ranging group, all while maintaining COVID-19 guidelines. Partnerships with Housing, LIFT, the FOIA Information Desk, Student Affairs, and others led our work to be featured in an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education. Outreach programs, the newest addition to the outreach branch, embodied the spirit of servant leadership. Freshman Forum, SGA's freshman leadership program, has gone above and beyond to advocate for freshmen and improve the freshman experience. Heyday, an original Auburn tradition, was especially important to maintaining the culture of the Auburn family in a year that we could not gather together in a typical manner. Not even event restrictions could stop this team from setting a new record for Heyday name tags distributed at 11,323. Fall Feast, a partnership between SGA and the International Student Organization, provided a time for safe fellowship between international and domestic students. While these events were all incredibly successful, the greatest achievements came with the anecdotal stories about SGA providing a bright spot in an undeniably difficult year. SGA will always have a special place in my heart. I took a chance on Auburn, coming here knowing 2 other people. Thankfully, this organization took a chance on me. I have gained friends that I know will be my friends for life. I have been mentored by incredible student leaders and advisors that have taught me more than I can put into words. I've worked alongside some of the most highly capable and motivated individuals on this campus. Individuals who are focused on selfless service and uplifting the student voice. Most of all, I have felt loved. Grace was shown to me when I didn't deserve it, and a helping hand was always extended when I needed one. I could not have made it this year without the people around me. The outreach branch and the executive team accomplished amazing things this year. It is my steadfast belief that we left things better than we found them. However, what I want myself in this year to be remembered for in SGA is caring for others, stepping up to the plate when you're called to do so, and sharing the same love that I have felt to every Auburn student. Everyone has a different Auburn experience, and mine was amazing because of my time in SGA. I will now welcome to the stage outgoing Executive Vice President of Initiatives, Sarah Jane Levine.
My name is Sarah Jane Levine, and I had the honor and privilege of serving as the Executive Vice President of Initiatives this past year. Through many sectors of initiatives, my team was able to further inform, gather feedback, and report our findings to the appropriate campus partners to advocate for student needs. This team advocated for initiatives focusing on academics, dining, housing, basic needs, health and wellness, safety, information technology, parking and transportation, facilities, sustainability, organizational seating program, and the Game Day Experience Committee. SGA Initiatives is a way for the student voice to be shared to many sectors of Auburn University campus that has a lasting impact on students. I am proud to share a few of my team's greatest accomplishments from this past year. Our Academic Affairs team composed academic feedback into a weekly COVID-19 situation report. These reports were shared with the Provost Office every Friday during the fall 2020 semester. Academic Affairs hosted a fall and spring Priority 1 that included social media posts, workout classes, and concourse tabling, and much more. SGA's annual Safety Week was held and included a self-defense seminar, safety walk, a COVID-19 bystander intervention training, and a standard drink demonstration. We were able to extend the Lyft Ride Smart program and add additional transportation inbound and outbound to the library during the academic week. During the fall 2020 football season, we were able to place a shaker at every student chair back during shaker distribution for home football games. Although we did not have organizational block seating this past football season, we have over 50 organizations committed to participating in organizational block seating for the 2021 football season. We established a Director of Basic Needs. This director hosted our first ever Hunger Awareness Week, which included a virtual cooking class, a non-perishable food drive, a TEDx-inspired seminar, and a documentary viewing. Hunger Awareness Week was a great way to unite many campus partners to work together to bring food insecurity to the forefront of campus. Donate $1 is an annual fundraising campaign and combined efforts with Beat Bama Food Drive, Campus Dining, and Auburn Cares. This year, we were able to raise $1,810 for the Feed the Family Fund. We assisted campus dining in the establishment of a dining steering committee. We were able to add a director of sustainability to the SGA team. And overall, we were able to serve the student body in various COVID-19 efforts, including the COVID-19 reopening task force. This year, I've been blessed to learn a great deal about leadership that will transform my postgraduate and professional life endeavors. One skill I will take with me is how to work with people and communicate with a team. It was challenging to delegate projects and initiatives to my assistant vice presidents and directors. However, by the end of my term, I have learned how to successfully communicate and delegate to others. Throughout the numerous experiences of this past year, I can confidently say that I will leave Auburn SGA with amplified skills moving forward. At this time, I would like to thank my assistant vice presidents and directors for their assistance in executing initiatives and always keeping the student perspective at the forefront of each conversation. To my executive team and secretary, the memories and experiences we have made this year will last a lifetime. To my mom, dad, and brother Lance, thank you for continuing to support me and push me to be a better person. To the advisors for helping me grow in my professional skills and pushing me to always be better. I would like to thank Ms. Julie Huff for always accepting student feedback, discussing my team's solutions, and ways we can make the student experience better during the uncertain times of COVID-19. The way you instilled confidence in my ability to lead this year through the Mental Health Task Force will be something I will forever be grateful for. In closing, I would like to thank each individual that I've had the opportunity to work with this year. Your guidance has pointed me toward continual success. At this time, I would like to invite Caroline Willoughby, the outgoing SGA treasurer, to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Caroline Willoughby, and I've had the honor and privilege of serving as this year's SGA treasurer. This past year was truly one I will look back on from years from now. When I was elected SGA treasurer, I knew there would be challenges ahead. And there was, from being in charge of a full team, fulfilling campaign promises, or working with the rest of the executive team to make sure our year was a year of success. This year had a lot. I cannot thank my AVPs and directors enough for easing the workload, bringing me new ideas, and maximizing our time serving this term. I'm excited to tell you all a little bit more about what we got to accomplish this year. The financial projects team had the opportunity to focus on the launch of Auburn's new financial literacy partnership with Regions Bank. Throughout the year, we had the chance to work with the Provost's office to mold this program to meet the needs of Auburn students, especially during this time of economic crisis. We were able to share several programs with the Auburn student body, including a speaker series, multiple online educational tools, and a new program called Reality Check, which is a hands-on situational experience. After many years of work by past SGA treasurers, I'm overjoyed to have been the treasurer to see this program come to fruition, and I'm so excited to see where it goes in the years to come. The financial programs team focused on the Auburn Ring tradition and our partnership with Balfour. Despite the impact of COVID on our campus, we found new and creative ways to market and share what it means to be part of the Auburn Ring tradition. I am proud to say that we are one of few SEC schools who did not drop in ring sales and even met the target sales we had last year. This has allowed SGA to use these revenues to continue to support each and every program that SGA holds and support any new ones that come our way. I was also given the chance to work on SGA's first ever COVID budget. This new budget allowed SGA to further respect and cherish Auburn student dollars. We were able to use students' money wisely by only allocating the funds that were necessary due to the new COVID-19 guidelines. Through the hard work of the budget and finance team, I was able to see this budget pass without any cuts and see our entire team put on the best programming possible despite these new guidelines. Lastly, I want to say thank you to the rest of the executive team, especially the EVP of Outreach, for helping me achieve my goal of receiving a 10% discounts for students. This partnership especially helped both students and businesses during the COVID pandemic, giving students an incentive to shop local even when sales were down. While not everything was checked off, this team laid a great foundation for the future of Auburn, and I could not have been prouder to be a part of it. While this past year was not exactly what I expected, I learned a lot, possibly more than any of my classes combined. I've learned about patience, trust, and what it means to be a true servant leader. I learned about resilience and stepping up to the plate when there are few rewards. I have made lifelong friends, and I have learned to take support and advice where it is needed, whether that be from my parents, advisors, or my teammates on the executive team. I have so loved this opportunity, and it will be hard to leave SGA as it has been a part of my life since stepping foot on this campus 4 years ago. But I am so excited for the new team. I know you all will have trying times, but I encourage you to take a deep breath and cherish every moment of it. You all are going to take this campus by storm, and I can't wait to see it. Next, I would like to introduce the outgoing Vice President, Hayes KASSEN.
Hopefully I can speak a little bit better this time than the last one. I don't know if it's a lack of sleep or what. But I also, when I was writing this speech, I saw the increments on the script, and I was like, I better keep it under 4 minutes because Brad will have Cole as the first one installed before anybody else if I go over my time. So I'm gonna keep it in line. But as I look back on the year in SGA, I do not think it is crazy to say that we've had one heck of a year. Through all the ups and the downs, we have seen it all and gone through something that is very unique to our year, and hopefully no one will have to go through again. Looking back, I would not have had this year any other way. I have learned more from this position during this year than I have any year prior of my entire life. I'm forever thankful for my exec team and the way we have tackled all of these so-called fires. However, I want to take the time to recognize this past year's Senate as a whole. These senators stuck with me throughout the entire year, and we would not have been able to accomplish any of this without them or their hard work. Whether it was reestablishing Summer Senate, something that we haven't done in over 15 years, passing a resolution advocating for a polling location on Auburn's campus, or realigning the ticket system, we definitely worked. We definitely had our frustrations. For example, trying to do a hybrid Zoom with people in person and attending the meeting virtually. I can assure you this one was very hard. Even with some frustration here and there, it was a year I will never forget. Along with the recognition that I would like the senators to receive, I also want to acknowledge one other person. Emmy BROOKE, our Senate Executive Secretary, was our MVP. Executive Secretary for Senate can sometimes be a thankless job. Actually, it is always a thankless job, but Emmy rocked it, and I want her to be recognized for that. She made everyone's lives 10 times easier with how efficiently she worked. Looking back, it is easy to say, I wish we had this or I wish we had that, but I can say for certain that I would not change a thing from this past year. And I would like to thank the advisors and my family and this outgoing executive team. But overall, I just want to thank the Lord above for this past year and all the blessings that He has given us. And so now I want to welcome a few remarks from Ada Ruth, our outgoing SGA president.
To the Auburn family, this time last year, I was the girl who went to Cater Hall with her team, prepared to leave that night without the title of SGA president, yet so thankful for the journey that student leadership had taken me on. A year later, here I am stepping out of this role and this life-changing experience, so much wiser and stronger. I still get emotional sometimes thinking about the level of trust the student body put in me to serve them this year. And I spent the last 365 days bringing all that I've had into this university that I've called home the last 4 years. However, it would not be possible without the help of some incredible people. Thank you to the incredible administrators, faculty, and staff who have made this year what it is. I love bragging to my SEC peers about how valued the student voice is here at Auburn University. Our organization would not be as impactful without your support. And for that, we are incredibly thankful for all that you do for SGA and for the student body at large. Thank you to the advisors who have helped support us over the last year. We certainly don't always make your job easy, but we appreciate your help, support, and guidance regardless. Thank you to those who have come before me, who have made my time in this role a possibility. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize incredible people like Dr. Harold A. Franklin, Chief Justice Melton, Dr. Josetta Britton Matthews, and many other Black students, faculty, and staff that have paved the way for student leaders like me to be able to serve in positions like this. Thank you to my incredible support system out of old friends, Breezy, and so many more. You always pick me up when this job got hard, and for that, I will be forever thankful for your continued friendship and love for me. Thank you to my sweet and wonderful family. You've been my rock throughout my entire life, and that proved to be no different throughout this experience. When this job got hard, you were there. And I appreciate all of you, Mom, Dad, Sarah Beth, and AJ, more than I'll ever be able to articulate. I love the 4 of you so much. Thank you to my incredible team. I'll say it now and I'll say it again. I would not have survived this year without the 6 of you. I'm a better person for having known each one of you. And I'm so excited to see where our friendships go beyond Auburn. I love all of you so dearly. And of course, thank you to the student body. You took a chance in betting on the unprecedented and elected Auburn's first Black female SGA president. You saw my vision for food insecurity, mental health awareness, and so many important other issues and initiatives. And you believed in my ability to lead that charge and cater to your needs. To the almost 5,000 of you that took this journey with me, thank you for believing in me from day one. To those that did not support me, I hope that you still felt seen, heard, and valued by my administration. I hope I haven't let any of you down. At last year's installation banquet, I read a quote from Maya Angelou that reads as follows: "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And my hope is that after this crazy year, students felt seen, heard, and cared for as we promoted the mission statement of serving and promoting the individual student, unifying all that is Auburn. Thank you, and War Eagle. Unifying all that is Auburn. Thank you, and War Eagle.
As you've heard, we've had a unique but successful year, and we couldn't have done it without all of you tuning in. As we sign off as the outgoing SGA executive officers, we wish the new team the best as they begin to find their own ways to achieve SGA's mission of serving and promoting individual students while unifying all that is Auburn. I'd now like to introduce Auburn University's Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Bobby Woodard, to the podium to install the newly elected SGA executive officers by administering them their oath of office.
War Eagle. There you go. I get to take a little bit of granted up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It has been a different year. I want to thank Kat as Miss Auburn. It has been a different year, and you did represent well, so congratulations on that. I want to thank SGA as a whole, the Senate legislative branch, and every other branch that we have in there, because as a whole, they work together to make sure that our students were represented this year. And lastly, I want to talk about the 6 of you. I guess there's 5 of you here tonight, and Ada Ruth. So for all of you, thank you. Thank you for your perseverance. Without your perseverance, we wouldn't be where we're sitting at today. We wouldn't be as financially stable as we are. We wouldn't have as many students interested as coming this fall, the diverse class, the people that are gonna come here and make Auburn great like you did this past year. So I wanna thank each one of you for your dedication and your perseverance in that. The one thing I will tell you that I think I've seen most about you 6 is your adaptability. As we go into this year, none of us knew really what was going to happen. You came up to the plate and you did a really good job. And I say really good job because it's finishing tonight and you're leading that torch to the next one. That adaptability is going to do you well in your careers, further education. I know some of you are going to grad school, medical school, and so forth, and also in life in general. If you can't be adaptable, you will sink. Well, the 6 of you will never sink because you showed it this year. So I want to say thank you for that. And before I come up and go into the next administration, I want to tell you to continue to make us proud here at Auburn University. And Michael said it best, and I'm going to paraphrase because I was caught up in what you said, and I'm not going to quote it just like you, but I love what you said. Something to the effect of, make it the best work for others that love and support you as much as they support you, you support them. And I will tell you, even when they don't support you, still support and love them. You 6 did a really good job of that this year, so thank you. You left a legacy here that we will not soon forget. So with that, it's time to congratulate and install the new SGA executive officers. Will the new officers please come and stand in front of the podium, face the audience. Remember to please social distance and keep your mask on, so come up here and then face that way. I might be changing the rules, but I like it this way. I want everybody to see you. All right. If you please raise your right hand. Right hand. Spread out a little bit more, guys. social distance, a little bit more. There you go. All right, we'll start. I will say it, and then if you can repeat after me. I do solemnly promise.
I do solemnly promise.
To support the Constitution and the Code of Laws.
To support the Constitution and Code of Laws.
Of the Student Government Association of Auburn University.
Of the Student Government Association of Auburn University.
And to perform the duties of my office.
And to perform the duties of my office.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. We look forward to what your team will bring this year to here, and we will gladly work with you and build on the legacy of last year's group. If everyone else will take a seat, at this time I would like to introduce your new SGA president, Mr. Rhett Waggoner.
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you to all the administrators and staff who helped make tonight's event possible. It's awesome to be gathered here in person and able to recognize the old exec for their incredible work, as well as welcoming our new administration. Next, I'd like to thank the old exec for being such an incredible example for us over the past year. You provided us with exceptional leadership, and you've given us a really high bar that we hope we can rise to. Next, I'd like to say thank you to my new team. I'm so excited to get to work with y'all over the next year. And I know every single one of you is equipped and prepared to serve, promote, and unify the student body. So I can't wait to get started on that journey with y'all. That being said, once more, thank you to everyone in attendance. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in on Eagle Eye. We really appreciate Eagle Eye for making tonight's event a possibility as well. And with that being said, this concludes the 2021 installment ceremony. Good night and War Eagle.